How does it keep getting better? Oh, it's so goddamn good. How does he keep getting away with this? He keeps making good chapters. One Piece only keeps getting better. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm calm. I told myself I wasn't going to do this in the recording. I'm calm now. Let's just get into the video. What's up, guys? Welcome to chapter 1055 One Piece review by the late developers. I'm your host, Media Messiah here. Let's get straight into the review. Okay, so like I said, this is a phenomenal chapter. One of the best chapters of Wano so far. It's literally not even close. The way Oda's been constructing his story, even though there's some parts about Wano that I kind of have some gripes with, the way everything is connecting and the themes that are so heavily resonant about the entire scope of One Piece are connecting so well with each chapter, especially in the post chapters. It literally makes no sense to sit here and say, oh, Oda's a bad writer. Listen, I'm not even gonna break down all of the issues that I have with Wano in this specific review today, because that's gonna be its own separate video, right? But let's just say that I will be making a video at least on my personal opinions of Wano. But this chapter is one of the best representations of that, between having the whole Nika situation and the Joy Boy, and what we find out later today about the poneglyphs and Pluton, all that type of stuff. There's a bunch of things in Wano that could have been better, sure, but I think overall, this chapter exemplifies how strong the themes and everything that's been set up, right? You know what? Let me take this hat off. The reason why, one, I ain't gonna lie, I want to show off the fresh cut, right? Two, you got Mommy Yamato. There we go. That's the right side. Everything's reversed for me, right? So you got Mommy Yamato in the background right there, because I'm trying out a green screen, seeing how things work. Also gonna add a little music to this one. Last video was kind of vanilla, but I want to get into this one where it's, get more energy and everyone get a better feel from it. But don't worry, Straw Hat's gonna be the Mugiwara no Media Messiah is still gonna be doing his thing. I might, if anything, try to put this on my wall or something like that. But like I said, I don't want it covering our beautiful queen right there. Look at her looking all. Look at her looking all. I can't move because this is literally, you see in the corner right there. There we go. The corner right there, you can see if I move too much, okay, cool. But that's besides the point. I'm taking too long with the introduction. I promised you guys I wouldn't go on too many tangents, but don't worry, Tekken, I'm coming for you, right? Okay, well, let's get serious, guys. I hope you guys have had a good day, because we're gonna jump straight into this recording and let's just deep dive into the video. Okay, boom. So with this chapter, I feel like when I talk about One Piece, I like to do the breakdowns and stuff like that about the themes and all that stuff that's heavy about it, that really resonated with me. But I don't feel like it's worth it to go each panel by panel. I think mostly what I'd rather do with my type of style is talk about everything that was really important. For me to sit here and go panel by panel, if there's something really important, I'll talk about it. But there are 1,000 One Piece reviewers and stuff like that, and I feel like to have my own style, I think I would just talk about what I feel is most important for me, right? So let's go in order, right? So what happened first? Right, actually, I almost forgot how the chapter technically starts off this week. Is one, we get two amazing, I guess, color spreads this week, because we get the Shonen Jump cover, which has Luffy standing there and Shanks in the background, and then we get another one promoting Film Red, which is which is Uta and Shanks and Luffy on the cover, which both of them look amazing. I'm probably gonna make one of them my wallpaper, and I'm not gonna lie, Shanks is kind of looking menacing in those. Like, he definitely looks like a villain. Now, I said last week, I don't know if y'all watched the video last week, but I said 100% last week, Shanks is not a villain, and Oda went through the trouble this week to show it. So I'm not even trying to hear any, oh, what if Shanks is evil? And that's why I'm talking to you, totally not, Mark. Everyone, like, so it's like, I feel like when it comes to like Shanks being evil, I already went into this last week, but like, it would really disappoint me if Shanks ended up being some Machiavellian schemer planning on Luffy's downfall. That just doesn't make sense to me, right? And then we get something where with Uta, like a little bit of a sneak preview of what the movie's gonna contain, where it's like Uta's laying there and like people are asking her for help, and then she starts writing a song out. I personally have no idea what any of that stuff's about, so yeah, I think like at this point it's safe to jump into the chapter, right? So the way the chapter officially starts off is we continue the fight with the Scabbards versus what's his name, Ryokyogu, Green Bull, Aramaki, right? Whatever you want to call him, I'm just gonna call him Green Bull. It's gonna roll off the tongue easier. It's hard enough for me to talk as it is, so I'm just gonna just keep calling him Green Bull, right? And I wasn't really gonna bring this up, but after rereading the chapter, one of the important things that I like, Oda's going through the trouble to explain certain things, and one of the things he's going out of his way to explain is that normal fire can't hurt Green Bull. And he's like, you know, I'm a Navy admiral, right? Like, fire is not gonna do anything to me. Like, I've trained to make sure that like you're not gonna just burn down my force, which is important because the Mera user Sabo himself was fighting Green Bull and Fujitora in Mary Joa. And so that's pretty important, that because like I think like when it got mentioned last week, I didn't bring this up, but in my head I'm like, you know, it's like a really bad matchup. Like, wouldn't like the Mera fruit just be like a natural counter to Green Bull's forest fruit? And I'm glad that Oda brought it up that like, no, Sabo did not wash Green Bull, right? But then we get right after that, we get Momonosuke using the Borobar. Well, not directly right after. We had a little bit of banter and stuff like that, but I'm kind of going to save that for a little bit later because I want to talk about all of that like in its own entirety thing. Like I said, I don't want to break down this video like each and every panel. I'd rather just talk about the themes and how everything connects, because Oda was jumping back and forth a little bit in this chapter. Not too much compared to other chapters, but he does jump back and forth, right? So after Momonosuke fires the Boro Breath, it goes straight through Aramaki. He fires another one, and I guess it's like you can consider it like more highly concentrated, more more concentrated, more highly powered, whatever you want to call it and stuff like that, because we know how Green Bull does drop a line like, hey, if Kaido was here, I wouldn't be here, because like I'm not messing with Kaido and stuff like that. So I get that Green Bull's kind of like a coward, and he's kind of Oda's going out of his way to make sure like, hey, this guy is an absolute douchebag. But yeah, I'm actually really glad to see that Kaido's abilities are like literally one-to-one with Momonosuke's. I'm really glad to see him coming into his own, because not only does he have like the adult body, he also has like the actual dragon abilities and whatnot. So I'm glad to see that Momo's actually able to come into his own here, right? But then we jump a little bit over into the Flower Capital, because they're fighting out right outside the Flower Capital. So we're back with Tsukiyaki, and we're with Robin again, and Law's tagging around. Now, I used to really like Law back in the day, and he sort of he was close to being my favorite character for a while, and then he kind of like had some things going on with him. But like before, I was kind of indifferent to Law after a while, because Sanji's always gonna be my favorite character, right? But now, certifiably my least favorite character in all of One Piece. But yeah, he's definitely certifiably my least favorite character right now. You might be like, yo, wait a second, why? What the heck is going on? Why? What's all the hate for Law? It's because he's getting way too close to Robin now. Like, I don't understand what you thought was gonna happen, Law. I had to deal with this stuff for years where people were shipping Zoro and Robin, and you think I'm gonna sit here and let them start shipping Law and Robin? Listen, I need everyone to understand this right now. Nico Robin is 150% my waifu. I don't care what anyone says. Listen, if Oda's gonna make this a problem, then I might have to make this a problem, because you're not about to just have all these dudes get close to Robin and whatnot, and like I will hop into the manga myself, and I will handle everybody, because listen, Robin is number 100% my waifu. I'm not even joking about that. But that's besides the point. Let's actually let's focus on the manga, right? Let's talk about all of the other my personal issues with Law, right? So Law's tagging along. He's saying like, oh, basically I see you two going off, and like no one else is coming this way. So I was curious myself, because we do know that Law had some interesting things that he felt were necessary for him to see about like the poneglyphs and whatnot. Like he was like interested, not interesting, that's my fault. He said that he was interested in seeing the history, the true history of the world, and he wants to know about the will of D, because he is a D himself, and he wants to know like what his fascination, what Corazon's fascination was with all of this stuff, right? He's like, well, why is the will of D important? Even though Sengoku had to talk with him, and he's like, you know, I know for a fact that Corazon didn't know. It's not like your value comes from you being a D. It's just that he cared about you truly as a person. Law still wants to know, because at the end of the day, Corazon did die for this, right? So it makes sense that Law is gonna be here, because he was at the Poneglyph in Onigashima anyway, right? So they're walking downstairs, and then they end up peering through, looking at a window, and Tsukiyaki's telling them to like go through the crevice and look through the window, and you come to find out that they're underground, underwater. And the reason why Kaido knew where the poneglyph was at is because Jack was a fisherman, and he was able to find the poneglyph, right? So I didn't realize this on my own. I actually watched Mr. Morge's video, and he kind of brought this up, so I can't take credit for this, but we learned that not Onigashima, Wano itself was like originally at sea level. Like the island itself was at sea level, or I guess like right above sea level. I don't know how would you consider it, but it was like, because like it's high. The way it's structured now, it's like it's way high in the mountains now. Wano is like super elevated, right? But before it was just a regular old island, and we find out that the water rose thanks to like the natural border barrier around Wano. It has risen, and that caused all of the land on the ground to flood. And the reason why it's like that is because Pluton is there, and that's what the border is. It's protecting Pluton. So they're like, Sukiyaki says, if you go a little further, Pluton will be there. Now I think he says that it's underwater, and the only way to free Pluton is to destroy the border. So it's not like Pluton's like around the corner from them, right? But the fact that we're like right there next to Pluton shows how close to the end of One Piece we're getting, because before, it's never been mentioned before that all of this stuff was like in like locations, right? I believe the location for Pluton was disclosed in Alabasta. That's where the poneglyph for that was. And then the location of Poseidon was the one in Skypiea, right? I'm not sure if it stated in the story if Robin ever found the location of Uranus, or Uranus, comedy, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's ever been disclosed on that. I'm pretty sure she only knows the location of the 2 ancient weapons so far out of the 3 of them, right? But yeah, I think we're gonna get a little bit more of that. But like I was saying, I can't take credit for like this realization, but this is like peak writing right here. This is unbelievably amazing. Where the structure of Wano is literally the exact same as the structure of Water 7, meaning that Water 7 was an island originally at sea level, but thanks to like the giant waves, I forget, it's like the Aqua Laguna, I believe that's what it's called. Thanks to the Aqua Laguna, every now and then the water level rises and they have to constantly keep building on top of the other building so that they don't eventually drown, right? And what's amazing about that is that Pluton is in Wano, and the sea level rises, so they have to build on top of the buildings in Wano, right? Just like in Water 7. And who built Pluton is the shipwrights of Water 7. So it all comes around full circle, like everything is starting to connect, and that's one of the peak things I feel about Oda's writing that's just going to the next level. It's unbelievable how something from like 15 years ago, or maybe even more, I don't even know when Enies Lobby was. Enies Lobby was like 2008 maybe, or something like that, maybe before then, I don't even know. I wasn't reading the manga at that time, but you're talking about from over a decade ago, easily over a decade ago. This stuff is connecting now, and I think that's chef's kiss. Magnificent. Oda, keep up the good work, you brilliant bastard. I cannot wait to see where all of this goes. Okay, so that's I could do like separate videos on speculations about Pluton and what's gonna go from here, or the Straw Hat's gonna get it, how are the borders of Wano gonna be destroyed. That's all speculation, and I want to just leave this to being the review, right? So boom, what happens is that we jump back to the Green Bull fight. And what's really interesting is that Green Bull is like going on some, I'm bad guy, make bad guy spiel, and he's talking trash, and he's, going into all that stuff, and out of nowhere, boom, Conqueror's Haki hits. And so this scene was really weird to me, because I'm like, is Shanks telepathically communicating with Green Bull? And the reason why I have to ask that is because Green Bull said it himself. He's like, red hair Shanks, or the red hair pirates, or whatever, and Shanks is like having a speech, and I'm not questioning how does he know that Green Bull's there, because great observation, Haki short, and we've already established that you can know someone's presence. Now it doesn't mean he knows Green Bull personally, but I guess he can like tell the Haki levels in a Marine Admiral or whatever. I don't know, I think the way it's implied is that he's using his Conqueror's Haki to I guess you can make the argument that because his willpower is so strong that he's not directly telepathically communicating. Keep in mind, this is headcanon. No, I'm not saying this is what's happening, I'm just saying that this could be an explanation where it's because Shanks' Haki, aka his willpower, is so strong, he's enforcing his will onto Green Bull by communicating his desire to stop him here. So it's not Shanks himself saying word, but it's his will is to say, hey, Marine Admiral, stop trying to stop the new generation from trying to grow after they just made pirate history. That's basically what he says. So that could be something, but I feel like it's a new Haki feat. I feel like that's something that Oda's gonna have, because it's Conqueror's Haki, but it's not even just a big, well, actually I'd say it's a big burst. It's not like it's pinpoint Conqueror's Haki, because I think it's Lucky Roo, or at least one of the red hair pirates, they're like, hey Shanks, you can't just keep firing off your Haki like that. Our newbies are foaming at the mouth right now. So it's not like he's pinpointing, only hitting Green Bull with it. But that was really cool, right? But I skipped over one thing that's really important, and that's the speech that Momonosuke said. And I feel like this one is super important, right? Because I had a debate with my co-host Dat Flamingo on this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. We were debating this heavy, and I still feel like this right here confirmed that Yamato is 150,000%, 10 billion Senku style, is joining the crew, because what Momonosuke said right here to me can only be taken one way. Momonosuke directly said to Yamato, you have been locked up for 20 years. You have no freedom, right? I do not want to sour your leaving with the fact that you feel like you have to protect the people of Wano. It's not so much that Momonosuke is like, I want to prove myself. It's that I don't want you guys to worry. And this is what I got into a debate with that Flamingo about. So basically, the way I see it is that Wano has been oppressed for 20 years, right? Kaido's been taking over. All the people of Wano, they've given up. They just accepted Orochi's rule and whatnot, right? But one of the key things about Oden's flashback is that Oden, if he would have fought back, if he would have gathered his scabbards, if he would have assembled Roger and Whitebeard, if he would have, not even Roger and Whitebeard, that's a whole nother anomaly, right? But if he would have took the initiative to actually fight and use the people of Wano and use the Yakuza and use everybody at his disposal when it first happened, Kaido would not have won. But the problem was is that Oden decided to wait the years. He decided to sail off with Roger. He knew stuff was happening at Wano, and he chose not to do anything until it was too late, right? So one of the key things that the people of Wano have to learn is that you cannot take this line down. Yeah, you guys are strong, but your strength doesn't matter if you're literally getting poisoned and you're losing soldiers by the daily, and you're going in like groups of 5 to fight the people. Like, I'm talking about like the 5 daimyos and stuff like that. Like the daimyos, like they by the time they started to fight back, it was already too late. Oden wasn't even there anymore. Everyone, it was only the 9 scabbards versus like an army of like 10,000 people. And I know that reflects like the Straw Hats, but even now the Straw Hats, when they went into battle, they had Law's crew, they had Kid's crew, they had all of the Yakuza with them, and they had the scabbards. It's not like it's just all 9 Straw Hats, or technically 10 now because of Jinbei, right? It's not like they had all, and they had Yamato's help too. It's not like just all the Straw Hats just went in and fought Kaido's army of like 30,000, 50,000 people by themselves. They would have lost. They needed the help. And guess what? That's exactly what Wano's trying to do now. They're like, hey, listen, Yamato, you have had no freedom to tell you to sit here and protect us because we can't defend ourselves. It's selfish, it's greedy, and we're never gonna do that to you. You want to be free, you need to know, like, it's not like just physical freedom, but peace of mind, because Yamato would never be able to rest if she felt like, you know, Wano itself, because she feels like she's Kozuki Oden, right? She would never be able to feel at ease if she knew that Wano was in trouble and she like just sat there and did nothing like Oden did, right? Because Oden, when he left Wano was still good. Orochi wasn't like, you know, plotting. Sukiyaki wasn't dead and stuff like that. He left Wano on relatively good terms. When he came back with Roger to get the poneglyph, he knew things had changed, but he was already in too deep. And Oden, like, he was a foolish man. He wasn't someone to idolize, technically. That's one of the things that Yamato has to realize, that, like, you know, Oden made a lot of mistakes. He was a great man, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn from his mistakes. And I think that's one of the things Yamato would have done. She would have been like, last time Oden wasn't here to protect Wano. And I think the fact that Momonosuke looks exactly like Oden is one of the things that'll protect Yamato like peace of mind, because she's like, Oden is here at Wano in spirit. So that's why I feel like at this point, the fact that Oda put that in there is like, just speaks volumes to me of why I feel that Yamato is joining the crew, right? And then we finally get the best panel of the entire chapter, which is you've got Sanji, Luffy, Zoro, and Jinbei, and they're just sitting at the edge of the flower capital, and they're just looking at the entire everything going on, and they're just like, I guess we didn't need to step in anyway, right? They're just chilling. They're just like, hey, listen, we could have stepped in at any point, but we wanted to let the people of Wano to solve their own problems. Now, granted, Green Bull was there for Straw Hat Luffy's head because he's a Yonko, so it's technically not the people of Wano's problem, but it's like they need to like it's a problem because it's someone threatening their lands, right? And it's like, you know, it's the same thing with on Zoe, where it's like, you know, they could have given up, right? Zoe, they could have thought about the people, but the people of Zoe protected themselves and they fought back, and you know, they weren't just helpless, they didn't just like be defenseless. So it's like, why? And we praise the people of Zoe for that, so why would we scrutinize the people of One? Oh, if you just let Luffy fight, it doesn't make any sense. That would go against the themes of One Piece, right? And I really love the fact that they did that, because, you know, Luffy's not a hero. He's not there to, like, you know, you're not gonna flash the straw hat signal like it's the bat signal and Luffy's gonna come save you every time. Luffy wants everyone to have the freedom, and if they're in a situation where someone's opposing them and taking away their freedom, Luffy's gonna be there to help, because it hurts him to see other people suffering like that. But it's like I said, he's not a hero. So the fact that he's willing to like not intervene right now, if the people, like, if they were in danger and they're like, you know, they needed help, Luffy's gonna be there, but at the same time, he's gonna want you to be able to fight your own battles too. And that's why I feel like this is like the best panel, because it's not like Luffy was just goofing off. Like, it wouldn't make sense where like remember in like Fisherman Island when Caribou was running around the Ryogu Palace, I believe that's the name of it, and like Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro, they sensed him. If they can sense Caribou, they're gonna sense a Marine Admiral. I'm glad that Jinbei, who also knows hockey, was there too, right, and whatnot, because it's like now they're aware. And I don't know, it's just like it's one of those things where a picture speaks 1,000 words, right? And even though Momonosuke like directly says why it's a good moment earlier in the chapter, it's the fact that they went out of their way to include. Like, you could have spun it where Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro and Jinbei, they didn't realize because they were partying, which, like I said, it's very out of character for that to happen because of the whole observation hockey thing. But you could have done that, and it could have, like, you could have showed that the people of Wano didn't need the help because they're able to defend off an admiral, or they're able to like fight off bigger threats now that they have the confidence and they have the numbers back, and they have like the unity that Wano originally had like 20 years ago before Orochi started dividing and conquering. But I think the way it's spun out this way is a lot more better. I'm pretty sure we don't have a break next week, so I'll be back next week to talk even more about One Piece, but it doesn't get worse, it only gets better. It never stagnates. Every chapter to me adds a little bit more something. I didn't really say anything about Shanks this week because it wasn't that much to say. We're not really getting a lot. Like the way I went on a tangent about like the themes of how I felt about the ending of the chapter and Momonosuke and Yamato. That's what I really want to talk about. You know, if I get a panel with Shanks, I'm not gonna really sit here and rant about Shanks for an hour. Because it's only so much I could say about that. But the things that like I really feel stand out are the things that I really want to talk about, and that's why I do these reviews. So I want to thank everybody for watching these videos. I know I mess up a lot. I know I stutter a lot. I know I have the lisp and stuff like that. I know it's sitting down and watching one of my reviews. Plus, like, my reviews are probably super long anyway. Like, yo, bro, it's been like 45 minutes. You gotta pack it up. Like, come on, like, you talking too much. No. I'm still working on all this stuff. I know I'm messing up a lot. I'll try to do cuts in between where I feel like, you know, it's a lot of awkward moments, stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to give you guys as much good content. And I just wanted to like share my love with the story, just like I know you guys love the story. And whatever issue, it's not perfect, you know. Oda is Goda, our Lord and Savior, but it's not like every single thing about the story is gonna come out perfectly, but it's damn near close to that. So once again, I thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys next week, and I can't do this without you guys. So this is gonna be late developers, and we'll see you guys next time, so stay tuned for more. All right, deuces.